Are you looking for the best dehumidifiers for basements and the only 5 best dehumidifiers for basements and you should consider today review buying guide? In this video, we will look at some of the best dehumidifiers for basements buying guide on the market. For more details and price, click product link. Please check the description box below. Before we get started with our video. Number 1. Best for small basements, Honeywell 30-pint Smart Dehumidifier. Selected as our top humidifier for any humid area of your home. We're big fans of the Honeywell Smart Dehumidifier. It's an effective, versatile, and compact unit. We think it's especially great for smaller basements or other areas in your home that are less frequented. While testing over 6 months, we loved receiving alerts via an easy-to-install app when the water tank needed emptying, instead of manually checking it. On the app, you can also check live humidity readings and monitor if the room is set to your desired percentage. When using this dehumidifier in a small hallway between 2 bathrooms, we first noticed that it was almost too effective and made the air dry, so we adjusted the fan level and set our location in the app. The app can then automatically adjust the humidity level on the dehumidifier based on the weather in your surrounding area. We found it especially helpful to take the guesswork out of running this dehumidifier accurately. It also remembers your previous settings. We found the continuous hose system to be essential during the humid summer months in Birmingham, Alabama, where we were emptying a tank 2 to 3 times a day, hose included. However, if you do rely on the tank, we found it not too cumbersome to empty manually. It has a handle and splash guard to make the trip to a drain less stressful. Aside from our best smart pick that has a unique cube design, it's the lightest and most compact option on our list. We like that it can be tucked into a corner and not take up too much space if you're dealing with a crowded, small basement. Room size coverage, 1,500 square feet vertical bar moisture removal, 30 pints per day vertical bar bucket capacity, 20 pints vertical bar drainage, continuous vertical bar Energy Star certified, yes vertical bar. Dimensions, 20 multiplied by 13, x 10.5 inches vertical bar weight, 34.1 pounds vertical bar noise level, 49.5 dB. Number 2. Best with pump, Frigidaire 50-pint dehumidifier with built-in pump. We think this model from Frigidaire could be especially useful if you have a finished basement that no longer has a floor drain. Rather than manually emptying, you can simply direct the water to a drain. We found it so effective at removing moisture during humid summer days that it would shut off every few hours due to a full tank. Similar to our best with drain hose pick, this model from Frigidaire has a continuous drainage option with a built-in pump. The real game changer is this dehumidifier's continuous drainage and pump. Once we set up the continuous drainage, as simple as threading a garden hose to a hole near the bottom of the dehumidifier, it became a completely hands-off unit. Within a few hours, we noticed a physical difference in the air in our basement. We would notice this when using just the tank as well, but it would never run longer than 12 hours at a time, at the most, without shutting off when full. Although we didn't test the built-in pump, we had an unfinished basement with a drain. We like that it includes the tubing, so you don't have to buy a garden hose. After using it daily for 6 months, we found it simple to maintain. We would dust or wipe off the outside of the unit occasionally, and never noticed any debris building up in the tank. The air filter is also easy to clean. Just pop it out, rinse it off, and pop it back in. If you do choose to empty the tank manually, we found it to be a relatively straightforward process. The tank pulls out like a drawer and has hand grips on the sides. Once you pull it out, it does have a carrying handle, which makes it easier to lift. While there's no splash guard, we found that using the corner of the water tank as a spout was the easiest way to empty it and reduce splashing. Plus, this model has a built-in collapsible handle similar to a suitcase, so we could easily wheel it to a drain to avoid carrying it far. Just note that this unit doesn't have an audible full tank alert, so you will need to check it often during humid months if using the tank only. As we found with the other large dehumidifiers we tested, this model was also very heavy, and we had to get help unboxing it and placing it in our desired spot. We liked the detailed instruction manual, which helped us to understand all of this dehumidifier's features and cleaning best practices. Room size coverage, 1,500 square feet vertical bar moisture removal, 50 pints per day vertical bar bucket capacity, 16.8 pints vertical bar. Drainage, continuous with pump vertical bar Energy Star certified, Yes, vertical bar. Dimensions, 24. Multiplied by 16x 12.25 vertical bar weight, 41 pounds vertical bar noise level, 51 dBA. Number 3. Best Smart. Midea 50-pint cube dehumidifier. If you love being able to remotely monitor your home appliances, the Midea Cube 50-pint dehumidifier is a great option with a unique design. Aside from being compatible with smart home hubs like Amazon Alexa and Google Home, this dehumidifier's smartphone app delivers notifications when the water tank is full and allows you to check and adjust real-time humidity reports. Just make sure your basement has good Wi-Fi so you can use this feature. The water tank on this dehumidifier is the largest on this list. However, it's easy to empty since you can take the unit off and roll the bucket itself. We also liked having the option to use the continuous drainage feature. It doesn't have a built-in pump, so you will need a floor drain. The hose is included, but if you need a longer hose, we like that you have the option of using either a garden hose or a piece of tubing since no threading into the connection is required. Due to the design, you need to remove and store the tank to drain continuously, so it takes up some storage space. You can't roll the dehumidifier in this mode, so moving requires more effort. However, when not in use, the whole unit fits inside the tank for a unique, space-saving feature. We also noticed mildew forming inside the tank after a few days of use. We recommend washing the water tank every time you empty it, just to be safe. Other than that, we had no issues with this dehumidifier over 6 months of testing. Room size coverage, 4,500 square feet vertical bar moisture removal, 50 pints per day vertical bar, bucket capacity, 34 pints vertical bar drainage, continuous vertical bar Energy Star certified, yes vertical bar. Dimensions, 14, multiplied by 14, x 14.45 inches vertical bar weight, 41.67 pounds, vertical bar noise level, 54.5 decibels. Number 4. Best with drain hose, Black+Decker BDT 50W TB 50-pint 2-speed dehumidifier. When you have a large basement with high humidity, you need a dehumidifier with a high moisture removal capacity and continuous drain like the Black+Decker 50-pint 2-speed dehumidifier. This dehumidifier can remove 50 pints of water from the air every 24 hours, and the continuous drain with the included hose saves you the trouble of emptying the water tank 2 or more times a day. We tested this in a kitchen and a family room for 3 months, and it effectively reduced the humidity in both areas. It's big and heavy, but thanks to the built-in wheels, we were able to move it from room to room without any trouble. We were especially impressed when we used it in the kitchen, where it maintained the humidity at the level necessary to set toffee during rainy weather when the kitchen would normally be quite humid. We wish the water tank had a viewing window or indicator to show how much water has accumulated, but it does have an automatic shoot-off feature and a full indicator. When we used it without the drain hose, we found the tank to be easy to remove and empty, even though it's quite large. It also has an indicator light to show when the air filter is ready to be cleaned. Accessing the filter is easy, and we were able to clean it thoroughly just by washing it with water, about once a month. If you have a large basement that gets very humid and you have a floor drain, then we think this dehumidifier will work very well. It comes with a 3-foot hose, so it's ready to set up for continuous drain right out of the box. There's even a button on the control panel for it. It doesn't have a pump though, so you might want to consider the Whynter portable dehumidifier with pump. Our best overall, if you need to drain into a sink. Room size coverage, 3,000 plus square feet vertical bar moisture removal, 50 pints per day vertical bar bucket capacity, 4.3 pints vertical bar. Drainage, bucket, continuous vertical bar Energy Star certified, yes vertical bar. Dimensions, 11, multiplied by 24, x 15.75 inches vertical bar weight, 1.14 pounds vertical bar noise level, not listed. Number 5. Best overall. Whynter Energy Star Portable Dehumidifier with Pump. The Whynter Portable Dehumidifier features a large water tank and a continuous drain system with a pump, so it works well in humid basements with and without floor drains. We tested one in a 100-year-old house in a series of very humid interconnected basement spaces, laundry room, mud room, and furnace room, totaling about 460 square feet. We used it almost continuously for 3 months and found that it greatly reduced the dampness in our space. And we love not having to empty a tank almost daily thanks to the pump. This dehumidifier includes an 18-pint bucket with a view window, so it's easy to tell how much water it has pulled from the air. The bucket is easy to remove, but it's so big and heavy that we found emptying it to be quite awkward. We only allowed the bucket to fill one time before switching to the pump drain, which only took a few minutes. It comes with a long 16.5-foot hose, which we ran to a floor drain in a different room, and the pump worked flawlessly. The pump is strong enough to push water up into a sink drain too, if you don't have a floor drain available. We were even able to wheel it around to different rooms. The handles aren't useful for picking it up, but it does move around nicely on the wheels. With the dehumidifier set to drain automatically, we were able to set it to our desired humidity and just let it run. All we had to do was clean the air filter every couple of weeks, which was pretty easy. With the bucket removed, the air filter slides out with a gentle tug. We didn't notice too much dust buildup, but we vacuumed and washed the filter according to the instructions and didn't need to clean the bucket since it wasn't being used. We think this dehumidifier is well suited to any humid basement, finished or unfinished, but it is a little noisy for use in occupied spaces, unless you only run it overnight. Despite this, we recommend it for especially humid basements if you don't mind the noise. Room size coverage: 4,000 square feet vertical bar moisture removal, 50 pints vertical bar bucket capacity, 18 pints vertical bar. Drainage: bucket, continuous vertical bar Energy Star certified. Yes, vertical bar. Dimensions: 23 multiplied by 14 x 11.25 inches. Vertical bar weight: 44 pounds. Vertical bar noise level: 50 decibels.